Welcome to Scoil Aireagail SolidWorks tutorials. This is Module 1, Lesson 4. In this lesson, we will model a Lego brick as shown on the screen here. So the idea of this Lego brick when we're finished is that you could, in an assembly, actually stack them one on top of the other as you would in real life. So all of these parts will slot in to corresponding parts on a real life Lego brick. So that is our aim in this lesson. Okay, so first step as always, we're going to save it. We're going to call it Lego brick and your name. Okay, and make sure you're saving it to your folder. Okay, so find your folder and save it in it. So to begin, we're going to open up a sketch on the top plane and we're going to select center rectangle, click on the origin, open it out and press escape. And we're going to put measurements of 16 and 32 on this. We're going to go to features and hit extrude emboss base, and we're actually going to extrude it 10 mil so we can leave it as it is and hit the green tick. If we hold down the wheel of our mouse and then move our mouse, we want to look underneath and we want to select that underneath face, and we're going to introduce a new command today. It's called the shell command. Okay, so what it does, it removes material from a solid body to create a thin walled feature. So if you select that, 10 mil is too big, we only want it to be 1 millimeter. Okay, and we'll turn on preview, so show preview, looks okay, and hit the green tick. So that has taken out all the material inside it, but still left the majority of it. Okay, so there's 1 mil wall all the way around now. So we're going to look down on top of the object, so on this face, hit it, look normal to, sketch tab, and sketch button. So now we're in the sketch on this top face, we can draw away on this top face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this option here, and I'm going to select hidden lines visible. Okay, and that will show our hidden detail. That's going to be useful in a second. So I'm going to select circle, draw it anywhere towards the left here, just don't have it overlapping with the dotted lines. Okay, don't have it going outside that. I'm going to hit escape a few times, and I'm going to smart dimension this circle to 6 mil. Next, I'm going to hold down Control on my keyboard, click the outside of the circle, click this dotted line here, and select tangent. Hit the green tick. Press escape a few times, hold down Control, hit the outside of the circle, and hit this dotted line, and then hit tangent again. So what that does is after pulling that circle in, so it's just touching off of this line once and touching off of this line once. Exactly where we want it. So we can turn back on our color, and we're going to go to extrude emboss base, and we're going to extrude this up 2 mil and hit the green tick. Right, so that looks good. It's starting to take shape now. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to put a round on some of these edges. So we're going to go to fillet, and we're going to select the top circle or the top edge of that cylinder and the bottom edge down here. And we're going to change this to 0.25 and hit the green tick. And we're also come along and go and put a fillet on each of these edges here. So on this one, this one, this one, and the same on the corresponding side. And just scroll down over here. I'm going to change it from 0.25 to 0.1 and hit the green tick. Okay, so starting to take shape now, and don't forget to hit save quite regularly. So our next job is we're going to hit this top face here and hit normal 2, and we're opening a sketch on that cylinder. So I'm going to put a center line that goes across from one side to the other. So find that dot that'll appear, there we go, and join it across to the dot at the other side. Next I'm going to put in another center line, except this time I'm going to put it in anywhere, any angle, and we're going to put some constraints on it. So hold down Control, click on this line, click on that center line, and make them parallel. Green tick, press Escape, hold down Control, hit this end of it, hit the circle, select Coincident, press Escape, hold down Control, hit this end, and hit the circle. And you have Coincident again. Okay, and because it's blue, I know it's gone really small down the bottom, but because it's blue, we'll be allowed to drag it just up somewhere there to make it a bit more visible. Last thing we can do is Smart Dimension, and we're going to put a distance between the two lines. So I'll just do that again, press Escape, go again, make sure I've selected both lines, and I'm going to put a distance of 0.5 between them. So now we're going to add some text. So usually on a Lego brick, Lego will be written on each of the cylinders. So we're going to come up here to our text. I'm going to select this bottom line as my guide curve, and I'm going to type Lego in capital letters along it. Okay? And you can see it looks massive at the moment, so we'll sort that out in a second. Like the last time, if it's coming in upside down and you can't really see it, these 4 buttons will sort that out for you. And if it's not in the center, make sure you're clicking center align. So to sort out this size issue, we're going to tick or untick use document font and select the font ourselves. So the first thing we'll do is where it says height, instead of 3.5, I'm going to change that to 1 mil. And just to show you what that looks like, click OK. And that's after making a huge difference. Okay. Next, I'm going to go back to font, and I'm going to search for a font that I want. So the font that we're looking for is called Elephant. So scroll down till we find E. There we go, there's Elephant, and click OK. And I'll just zoom in to make sure there's no overlap. So no overlap anywhere. Nope. So I can hit the green tick. And last move on the right, and we go to Features, Extrude a Cut, and we're going to make this cut 0.1. And hit the green tick. So there we have it. You can just see the bare indent that has gone into the piece. And I'll hit save again. Okay, so rather than redraw all these, we're going to use linear pattern to pattern this around our object. So in direction 1, I'm going to select this edge. For direction 2, I'm going to select this edge. Okay, for my measurements for direction on direction 1, I'm going to select 8 mil here, and down here I'm selecting 8 mil as well. For features and faces, I'll zoom in. I'm going to select our fillet, the blank face of the circle, and in the center of the writing here. Okay. And now, just to get it facing the right way, I need to play around with these arrows here. And there we have it, it's in the right place now. Hit the green tick, and there we go, hit save. So, starting to take shape again. So our next move is to go underneath. So if we rotate the object using the wheel of our mouse, click underneath, click normal 2, click sketch tab, sketch command. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into wireframe mode, or sorry, hidden lines visible. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to select wireframe mode. That'll make things a bit clearer for us. We won't have as many lines. So what we have to do now is we have to get 3 circles along here, but they have to slot in between these circles, so that if we were to stack these on top of each other, they would fit in perfectly like an actual Lego brick. So to do that, we're going to go up to the arrow beside circle, and we're going to select perimeter circle. So this can be a bit temperamental to use. We'll just have to take our time with it and keep trying till it does what we want it to do eventually. Okay, so you'll see what I mean in a second. One of them will probably go astray on me. So what we're going to do is, we want a circle in here somewhere, okay? So we're going to come along, click this middle circle, okay, so that middle one. Then we'll come over and click this middle one here. And we'll come down and click this middle one here. And then hit escape. So that has worked out perfectly. Usually that doesn't happen. So I'm going to do one more in this space over here, the exact same way. I'm going to hit perimeter circle again. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to select the middle one here. Select the middle one here. And select the middle one here. And again, that has worked out perfectly. Again, usually that doesn't happen. If it's not happening for you, just click undo and go again until it goes into this shape that you want. Just to show you what might happen you, so you don't have to do this step now. What might happen you is, just say you're trying to start your circle and it's going off over like this. See the way it's gone massive on the screen off over there. If that's happening yet, just press escape and go again. Okay, until you get it like this one. So our next step, we'll go back to this first one. We're going to hold, well, because this is blue, that means it can be dragged out of place. It's underdefined, so we need to make it fully defined. So to do that, we're going to hold down Control, click the outside of this circle, click our middle circle again, and hit tangent. We're going to repeat that again, so we're going to hit the circle, hold down Control, and hit this middle one, and hit tangent. And we'll repeat it down here. Hold down Control, hit the circle, hit this middle one, and select tangent. So now our circle is turned black, so it's fully defined. Okay, and we'll do the same with this one. I'm going to hold down Control, hit the circle, hit that middle one, and tangent. Control, circle, and middle one. So if this happens, if it comes up like that, that means you didn't press escape. So I mustn't have pressed escape. So I'm going to do it a few times now and go again. So Control, hit the 2, and there we go. Hit escape, and then last one, hold down Control, hit there, and tangent. It turned black, so that means fully defined. So we have one more circle to go here. This is going to be a little bit different because we have the origin and the origin is in the very center. We can come back up and just use a normal circle, which will start at the origin. I'll zoom in a little bit, and it just goes as far as this middle line here. Okay, and again it's blue, it's underdefined. So if we hold down Control, hit the circle, hit this circle, select tangent, and there we go. It's after turning black, so it's fully defined. And I'm going to hit save. Our next step, because these would be hollow in real life, we're going to make them hollow here. So instead of drawing in another circle on each of them, what we can do is come along and select offset entities. The size of our offset is going to be 0.3 millimeters. And we're going to click each of the 3 circles, and we're going to click reverse direction. And that will put the circle, the yellow dots, inside our circle. So that's what we want. And we'll hit the green tick. Now we can come along, we can turn this back on to our normal view, and I can select features, extrude a boss base. Okay, so it's picking up the small circles, that's perfect. But instead of blind and putting a measurement on it and trying to guess where it's going to finish, what we can do is hit on blind and come down to up to surface. And then we want these to come out as far as this surface here. So if you click that surface, that brings that out exactly in level with that. And hit the green tick. Okay, and I'm going to save again. So we're almost there. So my next move now is to add some materials. So if I right click on materials and go to edit materials, I'm going to look for plastics and I'm going to look for PVC rigid. So plastics, and scroll down till I find PVC rigid. There we go. And hit apply and close. And hit save again. Okay, so one thing you can do when you apply a material to something that you've made, what that lets you do is if you come up here and hit on evaluate and come up to the command mass properties, okay, it will actually tell you how heavy something is. So there's the mass of this object. So it's telling you how heavy your object is, what the volume of it is, and what the surface area of it is. Okay, so it's pretty handy if you're designing something and it has to be a specific size or weight or volume that you can model it up in SolidWorks and then you can see exactly if I make this from a certain type of plastic, this is how heavy it's going to be, or this is its volume, or this is the surface area. And you know straight away without having to waste time or materials or money making it, whether things are going to work out or not. So it's very, very handy tool. So lastly, you can put whatever color you like on this without affecting the material. So if we right click on it, come up here to the appearances tab and select body. So over to the left here, we get all the different colors. You can select whichever color you like and hit your green tick. Okay, and again, it's not affecting our material. It's still made from PVC rigid, but now it's just made from blue. Okay, so that is that model fully complete.